Good day, ladies and gentlemen, CycloneDuke here once again with some Orcs Must Die 2 gameplay. Today I'm going to be playing on the Edge, level 1, and I'm going to show you how to 5-skull it on the War Mage difficulty. That's normal. I'm playing as a sorceress and I have 0 skulls, so I do not have any kind of an advantage that any other player would not when playing this level. So let's jump right into it. I've got 3 weapons available to me. Her wand, the ice vent slowing freezing trap for the ground, and the acid wall trap. Let's get and release these orcs here. There's no need to wait for them. As you play through, the longer you take on a stage, the less skulls you're going to get. You've got a time limit that you want to meet if you want to get that skull for getting the time on par. And this includes times during breaks. So whenever you can, let the horde loose and get going as I did here. Most important thing that you want to set up always is your wall traps. In this case, the acid sprayer. These deal damage much like the War Mage's arrow traps, and it's just going to fry up some orcs for you. Once you've got your basic defenses up on the walls, start getting your floor traps down to slow down the orcs when they're in front of them. Notice how the ice traps here line up with the acid traps on the walls, so that when the orcs are frozen, they'll also be trapped in the acid spray. This is always what you want to get going on any stage that you play. While the orcs are walking through, just pelt them with your weapon, and this doesn't matter if you're the War Mage or the Sorceress. Always just be clicking, left clicking, killing the orcs. If you're the Sorceress, you can charge up your wand to let out an area attack instead. She can also right click to charm an enemy, and these two work very well together. You'll see me doing this later in the video. Again, I'm just getting used to the Sorceress here myself, and that was my first charm. When you charm an enemy, all of his friends will turn around to kill him, which is great because it makes all of the enemies bunch up. So while you charm an enemy, charge up your main attack, and then boom! Hit them all with the one big charge attack when they're all grouping up on that charmed enemy. Works perfectly. Also, when they kill the charmed enemy, they explode or something like that, which deals damage and stuns all of their friends in a radius. So it's pretty good. When you're playing as a sorceress, you really want to make sure that you're using that charm. This is just general advice. Now conversely, on the War Mage, his basic left click does way more damage than the sorceress's wand here. It's much more reliable for just killing orcs by yourself. However, the War Mage's right click with his blunderbuss is less reliable. It's way less good than the sorceress's charm. It does an area knockback and damage, but the damage isn't great, and the knockback can actually be troublesome sometimes. But it can be useful too, but generally you're going to have better things to spend your mana on as the War Mage. The blunderbuss grenade launcher is not all that great. Now the sorceress's charm is awesome, so I expect that going forward I'm going to be sticking to that. Again, when you get a break, unless you really need to walk around and plan, just go ahead and put down the traps that you want to. You can also put them down during the waves. Again, I'm just giving general advice here because this level, the Edge, level 1 is not terribly difficult. Certainly not on War Mage difficulty. Just line up this area with wall traps, line it up with your floor traps, and just pelt them with your main weapon. No problem whatsoever. This is the final wave. So this is just fine. If the orcs do progress past here, no problem, just run ahead and get another kill zone. You always want kill zones in this game. One area where they just all die when they walk through. Right here, this corridor is perfect. If I had ceiling traps, I could be putting them here too. Get everything in one area of absolute death, the kill zone. All the time when you play, get this going. Concentrated fire. Okay, so this is the Edge, nice and done. 5 skulls, no problem. When you finish a level, you're going to get skulls for the first time. You're going to get up to 5 skulls. 4 skulls for how many rift points you have left. Basically, if you don't let any orcs get to the end, you get 4 skulls. And then you can also get the 5th skull if you complete the level quick enough. Aside from these 5 skulls, which can only be earned once by the way, if, for example, I only got 4 skulls on this level, I could repeat it to get that one final skull, but you can't get the original 5 again and again. However, as you play and kill more orcs and get kill streaks and such, you will be granted other additional skill skulls, as I call them. And you can earn skill skulls on any level, even if you play over and over. The fastest way if you want to earn skulls is simply just to play new levels and do well. Don't let a single thing through. So now we're here in this level 2, the tunnels. Again, it's quite a simple level. You've got 2 rifts now instead of just 1. So you're going to have to watch both of these pathways, left and right. Which also means that you have to divide your attention. Now when you have levels that split your attention and send orcs through multiple paths, an option that you have is to line up one area just with lots of traps, and then completely devote your own attention to the other path. The traps will kill all of the enemies on one side, and you'll kill all of the orcs on the other. Now this of course doesn't always apply. You might need some traps to help you kill the orcs, or if you're the sorceress, it may be a bit more difficult. Again, the good thing about Orcs Must Die 2 is the fact that you can customize your loadout. If you want to kill lots of orcs, equip the lightning ring and the ice amulet to kill them all yourself. If you just want your traps to do all the work, you can take trinkets to help you do this. As far as actually completing this level goes, what I like to do is make, again, a big kill zone. Now this doesn't as much apply to the sorceress because her acid trap acid does not spray as far as the War Mage's arrow wall will shoot its arrows. The arrows will simply cover a larger area, they'll travel further than the acid does, which means you can get a better crossfire. The junction behind me here, where both paths meet, is the perfect place to lay down your kill zone, because ideally, all of your traps will be put to use for all of the orcs. I'm only trying out these spike traps here for the sake of it. Spike traps were no good in Orcs Must Die 1, and I thought I'd give them a shot, since I don't have that many traps available to me. They're okay. I wouldn't really recommend them. In general, your floor traps in your kill zone should always be for slowing the enemy. If you slow the enemy when they're in front of all of your wall traps will get more bang for their buck. They will get more uptime, more damage done. They will get to hit more orcs. So again, putting down my floor traps here to trap those orcs when they're walking in front of the acid. Of course also, floor traps that slow the enemies will also give you more time to catch them if they're sneaking up on you or if they're getting towards the rift. Now always, in this level, no matter if you're playing it on Nightmare mode or War Mage or whatever, be careful if you knock orcs down into that pit. It's a bad thing about the stage. I'm not sure if the developers thought it would be a good place to trap the orcs or something, but I found when I was playing on War Mage that my blunderbuss cannonball would always knock them down there and they'd try and sneak by, because you will not have traps down there. So try and avoid getting the orcs down there, and if they do get down there, your elven friends will announce they're down below, so listen for that audio cue. And you can catch them as they leave, just a little bit behind the choke. Now when you're getting overwhelmed, like I was there, back up. Back up towards the rift, or the exit, or the goal that the orcs are coming to. You always want the orcs to be in front of you, not behind you, not to your sides. You always want all of them within your sights. So when you get overwhelmed, back up, so you can still see them and you're not being surrounded. Again, try not to let them leave your kill zone. Now I'm just vending and selling these traps here because they weren't quite perfectly aligned. What I'm going to try and do here is, again, apart from just try and get them all into one area, I want to put these slowing ice traps in front of the way for the orcs to get down. I want them to try that as they try and leave this area to get trapped. It will give me that much more time to catch them and kill them. I really should have been putting down more wall traps and acid sprayers during this time, but it's cool. This level isn't much of a problem. Just don't knock them down into that pit, make your nice little choke point here at the junction, and control them. You gotta keep your attention on both waves. It's even just on normal difficulty, these guys are getting close here, and it's taking all of my attention to keep them from getting past this choke. But stay focused. Get your traps up, get your choke point up, always be involved with your character, with your weapon, and you shouldn't have too much problem. That's level 1 and 2 for today, guys. I'm going to be doing a walkthrough again of all levels, so stay tuned if you'd like to see that. I'm going to let this level here play out, but in the meantime, thanks for watching, and as always, have an exquisite day.